Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Ife Badejo. I am the visionary behind all things Islandpreneur. I'm super excited to connect with you today. At Islandpreneur, we help island-based entrepreneurs to innovate, scale, and thrive. We have been at the forefront of all kinds of initiatives, really pushing this opportunity for you because we believe in the talent in the Caribbean especially, and on islands all around the world. For that reason, we have been at the forefront. So let me give you a little bit of what's happening right now. We are gearing up for AI Islands. And let me give you some context. That's happening, first of all, get your pen, get your notepad, whatever you do, get your calendar, August the 27th to the 29th in Curacao. This is happening at Centrale Bank van Curaçao in St. Martin. We are so happy that the Central Bank is our partner and is hosting us at the Central Bank. But let me tell you a little bit about the journey. In 2022 in November, I was personally introduced to ChatGPT in November when it came out by none other than my good friend Leslie Samuel. Not even a year later, at Islandpreneur Live 2023 at Simpson Bay Beach Resort, we did a whole workshop on how to use ChatGPT. In 2024, at IP Fest in St. Martin and in Curacao, we did another segment just to make sure that you knew how to work this one particular tool. Now, AI is not just ChatGPT. AI is not just ChatGPT. But since then, it has exploded. And because we love being at the forefront of these kinds of waves, we've decided to put all of our focus on AI Islands as our signature event annually, where you will get not just speeches and information from leaders all over the world on business, finance, marketing, fintech. I mean, we have leadership. We have so many incredible speakers that have committed to this. But also, you will have the opportunity to work on your tools and build things that you have never built before in seconds with nothing more than a prompt. So you want to be aware of that. I'm going to give you more details at the end, but if you are already connected to islandpreneur.co, you want to head over there and get on the joining our waiting list. And guys, I'm kind of out of breath already. And I haven't even started. We have so much more to talk about. But we also have, at the end of this week, that's what I wanted to say. At the end of this week, our passes are going to be made available. Now, if you just want to get a little flair of what's going on, you'll still get the sessions, you'll still get some tools, you'll get a prompt guide, you'll get all of these digital resources to help you. That's $97. That includes lunch, that includes coffee and tea, that includes being at the incredible Central Bank, that includes our welcome reception, all of that just for $97. But if you are what I like to call one of those power users, or one of those people that you want all in on your transformation, then the $697 is for you. That's our VIP pass. You'll get one-on-one sessions, you'll get so much more, and we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. Now, I have in the studio an amazing guest, someone who has walked with me over these few years, and who I've had the distinct pleasure of co-creating some of the island's more transformative experiences. And so I could not kick off the road to AI Islands without having him come to the studio. He's an entrepreneur. He's an investor. He is an athlete. He is highly, highly competitive. If you have ever been in competition with this person, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It gets a little bit, you get amped up, okay? He also happens to be a member of parliament, and I am fortunate to call him a good friend, none other than MP Irion. Thank you so much for joining me in the studios, MP.
Good evening all. And I think it's even more fitting because my acronyms is AI. Arthur Irion AI.
You are the original AI.
Yes.
Yeah, that goes on the shirt. The original AI.
Since 1985.
I see the merch.
Yes.
I really do see the merch. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
So you have agreed to be one of the speakers for AI Islands.
Yes, I have.
And when we're there, we're going to talk a little bit about AI and government. But from what you're seeing and what you're experiencing, because you're also an innovator, you always are interested in the latest technologies as well. How important is AI for us?
Well, I would say that it's very important, and we have no choice. So the ones that don't use AI or don't at least get familiar with AI will be left behind. Um, and in 2023, we used our first in government. I believe we were the first. Well, I was the first then as a minister to actually implement AI in the office. So we had AI for the emails to check the email writing. We had AI for transcribing YouTube videos into text. We had AI for auto transcribing also, and it was the beginning of it, and it was also the beginning of the learning the LLM models.
Yes.
So it was we used the really early pre-stage AI in government at that time, and I look forward to government actually taking on more AI going forward, and not to replace humans, but actually enhance the civil servants, and which I think is a great opportunity, especially for the Caribbean islands.
Yeah, I think you're very on point with that because there are two schools of thought that I engage with when I mention AI. There's two responses. Either people get really excited about it
Or really scared.
or really scared.
And I think the really scared part is normal because of uncertainty.
Yeah.
When people are uncertain, and I think that's why, or that's the importance of the role of Islandpreneur and AI Islands.
Yes.
That I believe that you and the AI Islands will start to lessen the uncertainty and
Yeah.
actually bring the knowledge and the education to the people that would then give them that assurity that, hey, this tool will enhance my life and not take away my opportunity. So I think that's why I'm very happy. I was very happy actually when you announced AI Islands, or you came to me with it. I was like, yes, this is what we need for sure.
Yeah.
And because we see a lot of conferences all over the world,
Yep.
we don't see it much in the Caribbean, and I haven't seen any actually in the Caribbean as yet. So I'm very happy for this.
No, in my own research, there's very little that's being talked about in AI for the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Everything is very high level macroeconomic and or very industry high level. So AI and banking, AI and IT, AI and telecom. But what I'm very excited about for AI Islands is that it's AI
for the entrepreneur.
for the entrepreneur. And I think that actually, what I like about AI is that artificial intelligence, because AI can be so many things.
Like Arthur Irion.
But what I like about artificial intelligence is that it can level the playing field. If you're willing to embrace it, it becomes an equalizer. So
Actually, it does level the playing field.
Yes.
It allows via text only, you're
Yes.
able to create as you could do accounting work, you could
Yep.
do legal work, you could do. I use AI for everything recently, but we'll get into that more. But yes, I think it does. It doesn't. Maybe level the playing field. It does level the playing field for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you are? What are some of the challenges that you are seeing when it comes to AI and the adoption? Like, what do you see as some of the challenges that are out there?
Okay, so I think for the Caribbean, the main challenge would be, as first, knowledge to what type of AIs they have out there. I think second would be education. So I think going back again to AI and what it means, because most people think it's just, let's say, what I see the most is press releases. Right?
Yeah.
So every politician, every minister, member of parliament has the same basic.
They're using the same prompt.
Meaningful. You see the same text all over. all over. I also see it in the media also. It makes the media's job a lot easier, but it starts to look a lot similar also. And I think then access to, because let's say we have to pay So having to pay for, let's say, the credits. So you have ChatGPT, but you also have, let's say, AI that does graphic design or video, and those need to buy credits to be able to execute those tasks a lot more. So I think money or access to financing to be able to execute the tasks that you want, that could always be a challenge, obviously. So education, financing, and then the fair. So, and fair comes from different areas. Let's say it can be fair from religion, and fair from work,
Yeah.
and fair from everything. The fair, the unknown, uncertainty. For me, I think those are the three main challenges.
I put out a white paper recently on my LinkedIn about AI in the Caribbean. And I put it out also to get feedback from people within my professional network to improve my white paper. And one of the things that came back was the infrastructure, that the Caribbean does not have the kind of infrastructure that AI can thrive on. And I don't agree.
No, I don't agree either.
And the reason why I don't agree is because if you set up your artificial intelligence correctly, if you have built agents, if you have automation built in, then things like electrical outages and all of the other stuff kind of fall back because these agents are working on your behalf anyways.
No, but I think also, so I don't know what perspective they were looking at, but I think I try to look at AI even on a more micro level.
Yeah.
So for the Caribbean. So
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the comments are macro level.
Yes.
I look at it on a micro level. And let's say we look a little bit more macro, we look at government services, for example. We could go from having a service that's from 10 to 4 as a time slot to a 24/7 service.
Yep.
Right? So you could improve government services to go fully 24/7 operational because there's always some entity
Yeah.
at the other side
Yeah.
responding and talking to you.
Yeah.
So I think there are a lot of, even let's say with our health,
Yeah.
right? So I recently competed over the weekend in Anguilla, and I want to be in a certain weight class, so I had to be under 181 pounds. I was, a few weeks ago, I was at 189 pounds, right? So I literally use AI to guide me through the process up until the moment of weighing in to ensure that I reached my goal. In the past, that would have meant that I would have to weigh my food, Google everything, how much proteins in the chicken, how much everything, and now, I would need apps. So I would use MyFitnessPal, I would use my running app, I use different apps to get to my same goal. It took a lot more work, and it also, because it took a lot more work, I probably would have reached my goal,
Yeah.
right? But also, it also helped me to determine what not to take,
Yeah.
right? For example, saying, don't eat this food because it would make you retain water. My MyFitnessPal didn't do that. So the last 2 weeks, I would actually just go take a picture of my plate, and these are tools that I use then. So I would put a teaspoon next to the plate so that the AI could use a spoon to measure the other items on the plate.
Oh, nice.
And then take a picture, describe what's on my plate, and then tell it to calculate my macros and let me know what else I can eat for the rest of the day to reach my goal of competing. And I did that every single day. I even took a picture of my supplements.
Yeah.
I said, this is my supplement stack.
Yeah.
Let me know what I could take, and before, after, and it told me what to take in the morning,
Wow.
what not to take. Don't take this. You can have some coffee.
Oh, I need to
I even wanted a mango. I said, can I have one mango? They said, no, I had four mangoes in the picture. So, can I have these? Like, no, you only can have one, right? And I reached my goal. I was even surprised. I was like, wow, I stuck to the information given. I was off a little bit. I ate 2 mangoes instead of 1. I felt a little guilty about that, but I did reach my goal. So when, like the comments you made just now about not having the infrastructure, yes, we may not have the infrastructure to have a whole fleet of self-driving vehicles.
Yeah.
But that's not what we need in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
What we do need, for example, I've read in the last couple of weeks, a lot of articles related to Caribbean health.
That's right.
Right? So what we can use AI for is to help us check our food. And that's even going on to an individual level.
Oh,
all
that's
right?
good.
So, for example, I had my blood test. I do my blood once or twice a year. And what I typically would do is go and Google every item on my blood test. Now I could just take a picture
Yep.
of my and disclaimer: you still have to go to see a doctor. Don't
Yes.
you're not a doctor.
Do not rely only on
On an AI,
artificial intelligence.
but it does give it does give a it explains me what my blood is saying.
Yeah.
Right. So I take a picture of my results, and the good thing about of having consistency. So now I could go back to my last 4 years, upload all the data, and
Yep.
say, hey, over the last 5 years, I've taken blood. I've done blood tests twice a year. What do you see based on these results?
Yeah.
So then it gives me information, and now I could go to the doctor and see what the doctor says and see if what the doctor says aligns with what the AI says,
Yeah.
and then follow those recommendations. So again, on a micro level, we could do a lot for ourselves, and if we take on these policies as a community, as a government, as a community, I think we could do a lot more. Because now we could actually develop apps for the public, right? And be able to, let's say, instead of finding the cure, deal with prevention.
Yes.
Right? So say, hey, this is how you should eat in the Caribbean. So now but now you include our data, Johnny cakes, salt fish, this soup, barbecue chicken. You can input the data to match us. So I think that we have a huge opportunity actually to have AI companies, even startups, or take what's already there and develop it for us or make it match us. And that's why I'm also a big fan of open source AI,
Yep.
that we are able to then adapt ethically for us. So I
Yeah.
think I think infrastructure, of course, we don't have big data centers, but we don't need big data centers.
No.
We need software or applications that enhance our lives.
I think you're very right with that kind of trajectory, because also what I've seen is at the beginning of this public AI journey, because AI has been there forever, right? So when you go in, you check your bank account, it's not somebody who is going to the vault, counting your money, and then coming back to the screen and saying, okay, this is how much it is.
It's a digital entity.
It's a digital entity, it's machine learning, it's
Yes.
LLM on some level. Statistics,
math.
data science,
Yes.
that is at work to make sure that you have not just information, but accurate information that is specific to you, right? Similar for when you're looking at different things, from your grades to all of these things are using some kind of a tool that had one form of machine learning or not. But what it has done in the past 2.5, 3 years is that now everybody has access to it, and all you need to know is how to communicate and type in order to create.
The term we use is prompt engineering.
That's right.
Yes, prompt engineering. So that's a whole new job on its own. I think what's important also, going back to the fear and uncertainty, is I look back at when, for example, the credit card came out.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, I'm not using a credit card, I'm not putting my information on the internet. And then you could go to internet when that was coming out.
Yeah.
Right? It was,
Exactly.
oh, you're gonna put all your information online, what about privacy?
Yeah.
And then we could go back even further than that when the phone was created.
Yeah.
Right? It was the same thing. And we could go one step back when electricity was created. Right? They feared how dangerous it was. So in history, we've seen that if you go back to electricity, the phone, credit cards,
The car.
all of these shifts in the ecosystem brought uncertainty.
Yeah.
All of them. Everyone feared for privacy. Everyone feared for their jobs. Everyone
safety.
feared in their safety. But if you look at every point in those times, it also brought a whole new kind of work.
Yeah.
Right? So electricity brought electricians.
Yeah.
It brought having cameras and phones and all
Yep.
different type of things. if you look at what the internet did, internet created digital banking
Yep.
and online purchasing,
Yep.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
So we're now just in a different phase now, and it feels scary because we have the experience. We are used to electricity and phones and credit cards. So we're in this new phase now where the AI will now, artificial intelligence will now create new kinds of jobs, and it wouldn't be jobs that we could think of now.
No.
And like I saw the other day, for example, like what we're doing now will be a new job,
Yes.
podcasting.
Yes.
So you'll have professional podcasters.
Yes.
People are going to be paid to be on podcasts. They're going to be getting money from doing podcasting. So I see a lot more social jobs now
Yes.
coming. And I also see now where you have, let's say, you'll be able to go, let's say, on hikes in St. Martin and use AI to see the path going forward. You'll be able to navigate the whole island, go to the beaches, just using AI. You can have a artificial intelligence tour guide. So there'll be a lot more opportunities with AI. And I even see, for example, there's a new ChatGPT for medicine. It's called Open Evidence, where doctors are using it. And all the information that it's trained on is scientific journals from different medical schools.
Yeah.
So in every facet or every industry of AI that we have now, there'll be new opportunities for us. And then what would always be there for a very long time actually is now the typical trades. So
Yes.
those will go up in more value. So electrician will
Yep.
be even more well paid.
Yep.
Plumbers, carpenters.
Mm-hmm.
I see them becoming the new doctors and lawyers, all right? Because I think the demand for
Yeah.
those will be even higher going forward. So I am not, I would encourage individuals not to be fearful of AI, but actually look at how can I learn a little bit more, which means just going to ChatGPT or going, so I like Gemini. I use Gemini 2.5. And sometimes, to be honest, I make them talk to each other.
Yes.
So I do a prompt in ChatGPT, and I'm like, I'm not sure this makes sense. And then I would take that information there, put in Gemini and say, hey, can you evaluate what was said here? And I have them correct each other over and over and over until I get the most refined information I can get. So I think that don't just use one, use a couple.
Yeah.
And just try. Like, I'm 100% sure. Once you start, so I would say in high school, I would read a lot. I read a lot of encyclopedias. My granddad had like A to Z, all
Yeah,
these
me
huge.
too.
Yes. So I would have to go physically and
That's
go
right.
through books
That's right.
to find information.
That's right.
Now it's all here.
Yep.
Even for example with agriculture, I was in the garden and I saw this insect and I was about to kill it because I thought it was killing the plants. And I was like, you know what? Let me just see what this insect does. And then I took a picture of it and I uploaded to Gemini and I said, hey, I have this insect in the garden. Is it dangerous? Does it kill the plants? And how to get rid of it if necessary. And actually it was a good insect. Because
Oh.
it ate all the seeds from other plants. So they say that, let's say, plants you don't want growing in your garden, it would eat those seeds. So I almost killed an insect that was actually beneficial for me.
That was helping you
It was
to-
helping me in the garden. So that's just like, so on a micro level, how you could use AI for so many, I mean, I have so many different examples how
Yeah.
you can use it on a daily basis.
For me, I use it in I also have many different use cases. So I typically use, I use now ChatGPT 03 versus 4.0
Okay.
because it has more of a reasoning,
Yeah.
it's more strategic in the way that it functions. And I also like seeing it think. So in ChatGPT 4.0, you don't see it think.
No.
In
And 4.0 mini you do. That's the
Yes.
advanced reasoning also. Yeah.
I also like Claude. I find Claude to be very, very strategic. So,
Yes.
so this is my team, right? So I have Chatty G, I have Claude.
Okay.
I-
And Claude is good for math
Yes,
and anything to do with numbers.
math, but also if you want to get a really solid business plan or like you want a really good strategic plan, you'd be surprised what a decent prompt would
Okay.
give you out of
Claude.
Claude, because I find ChatGPT sometimes is a little too generic. And Claude feels like, okay, I just had an MBA class
Yeah.
type of a thing.
And ChatGPT also has a bit, I forgot the word now, there's a specific word for this, but it gives a lot of validation,
Yes.
right? So it tries not to correct you. It makes,
Yes.
it makes you feel very,
Yes.
very smart.
Yes.
Right? So I actually have to program my ChatGPT to say, hey, I don't use validation. I need you to understand that.
Yeah. I literally put in my...
Be stricter.
Yeah.
Yes.
I literally put in my prompt, when I need that brutal honesty, I literally put in it, be brutally honest, in the prompt. I also use Gemini. I use a lot of Google tools and a lot of Google Suite. So Gemini has helped me to spit out summaries in real time. Like I was hosting an event and I needed to summarize 6 different country notes in seconds. And I literally was like, give me a summary of this particular file. There's so many that I use, and I'm now playing around with app builders. So I'm not a coder, people. I don't know how to code. That is Femi, my brother, and maybe my sister too, because she's studied math. But I've created about 6 or 7 apps that
I saw a couple.
Yeah, you did see a couple.
It's called vibe coding.
That is what that's called, vibe coding. Lovable, V0. You could even use Canva AI. You could use also things like...
So even in Gemini, there's also one called Canvas.
Yes.
So I created a game in there.
Nice.
Which was, I haven't finalized it, but so when I was younger, I used to play a game where you draw lines, no, you draw dots, and then you have to close the boxes.
Yeah.
And then you put your letter or your first name in the box.
Okay.
I really love that game, but it took a lot of time to put all the dots together. So basically, I created that game in Canvas and Gemini.
Nice.
So I've come to the last point. I'm just not able to share the game as yet. So I could play it locally. Yeah. But I can't play it like let's say if you're at home and I can play it against you. So. Yeah.
And then even with Claude, you can deploy different tools. So I created a, you know, those like IQ type tests type of a thing. So I did that for fun and put it in the chat with my family, and everybody started to do it to see who's smarter than who. Yes. And so I think, to your point, I think the micro uses of AI, artificial intelligence, is going to transform everything. Yeah. I also see the opportunity for people who do not know how to code, who do not know how the technical part of things, to literally with a prompt and in a few minutes, maybe an hour or 2, depending on your level of understanding of how to build these things, that you could at least get a good working demo. And then from there, you could shop that around. You could test that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So it saves you a lot of money also.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you're sitting with a developer, you have all these ideas in your head, and you just can't get it, or you can't just make a connection. Yeah. But now you could take your own time and just continue in text, just with text form only, typing, and watch the code. So in Gemini, I see the code building on the left, and I see the product on the right.
Yes.
So if I see if I want to make a change, I just make a change in real time, and I can execute the task for the game to start to work right away, which I think is, you know, to your point, like, I almost don't need Femi anymore. I even considered going back to school to learn to code and do engineering. Yeah. And now we don't have to anymore. Yeah. And like you said, so I'm excited. Just the other day, another friend of mine, who isn't a big fan of AI, he's getting more into it now. And he was on vacation, and then I said, I want to go to this country. And he said, do you know Spanish? I said, but not yet, but in 2 years, I wouldn't have to learn any Spanish. I'll be put in my earphone, and I'll have live translations from whatever language to the language that I know. I said, thanks to AI. I said, the AI you don't like will be definitely helping me in the future. So I see...
That's happening now. Like, I saw that in a live demo, and I shared the live demo with my mom, who is a certified translator, an interpreter, and she was shocked. She's like, it's doing on-site interpretation. Like
Yep.
that's what it's doing right now. I said yes, those things are happening
Yep.
now. You'd be very surprised with what's available, and then many of these tools are either free or very low cost as well. So if you had to hire, and not to say that, to your earlier point, actually let's go there. Many people think that jobs are going to just vamoosh, disappear, and we are no longer going to have the human to human connection, and these AI robots are going to be all over taking over the world.
So don't get me wrong. So,
What is your thought?
I had that dystopian fear at one point in time too.
Yeah.
Until I sat with the knowledge of it, and of course, that's also where the importance of governance comes in, right? So, as governments around the world, the Caribbean, we now have to start to make laws to protect our people,
Yep.
right? So data protection, IP, because as AI grows, the human being, we now become intellectual property, right? So being able to use my face, being able to use my voice, being able to use my talent, all of this intellectual property that we
Absolutely.
never had to really copyright before.
You got to copyright
Now
now.
we have to copyright going forward. So now we have to now make legislation that protects us as human beings and our image, our likeness, our sound, our thoughts, our ideologies, which now again becomes a whole new job, right? So as governments around the world, I mean, I see it happening already, but in the Caribbean we are not moving as fast. But we have to now make legislation to protect us from not actually AI, but from humans using AI in the wrong manner, right? So deep fakes, etc. And the opposite side of that, though, so let's say persons that are fearful of what AI is going to do negatively, right? So maybe take away jobs, etc. You can't stop that, and I can't stop that. So being fearful doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Fear doesn't stop it.
Fear doesn't mean that AI is not going to develop, because they're pouring, every company is pouring, this is probably the most investment in technology we've had in the last, since the dot-com bubble. That means it's too much invested to stop now. So we have to get on board. We have to get familiar, at the very least, familiar with it, at the very least. And then it's going to be our jobs as entrepreneur, as a government, to be able to ensure that also the elderly is not left behind, that we start to teach the young from now already to use AI. I actually want to, on that note, shout out the science fair group, the whole board, the whole team, because at the science fair, I saw a lot of students using AI already.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to see students already coding, vibe coding, using AI, using AI with cameras, using AI in automation. So let's not underestimate where we're at now, but we need to be able to give that extra push. We need to give that support. I think we have a lot of opportunities on the island, and I believe that St. Martin could be at the forefront in the Caribbean when it comes to AI.
I think so too. I think the Dutch Caribbean, especially St. Martin and Curacao, and even the rest of the islands, I think all of the 6 islands have a unique positioning when it comes to the opportunities, because we are more multilingual. We have a different kind of dexterity with the different kinds of technologies and nuances and cultural implications from the different parts. And I think that, to be honest, there is a gold rush for AI happening in the region. People want to be in tech and in paradise. And so they are coming to the islands searching for it. I saw it with FinTech Islands in Barbados. I've seen it at Canto several years back to back. I'm seeing it in Jamaica happening. Jamaica has a whole AI policy with education already. There are different things happening. Of course, Angola's just benefiting from .ai. They're just going to the bank. It's the most beautiful passive income model I've seen in a long time.
Probably ever.
And so I think that the fear is real. But the fear is not about the technology. The fear is really about the people behind the technology, right? Because if you look at the internet, people will say, yeah, internet also has so many, the internet is wonderful for XYZ, but the internet also has a dark side to it.
Mm-hmm.
And with financial services, you can do all of these things, but the reason why you have the Financial Action Task Force and anti-money laundering laws is because there's a dark side to it.
Exactly.
And that dark side has nothing to do with the technology or the medium. It has to do with people.
People, yeah.
And so being on the right side of AI, I think, is really important. And you said a word there that's really important about ethically using AI. I think we also have to train everyone how to use it ethically.
But I think even, let's say, because training us to use it ethically is one thing, but like I said, I think that we need to, as a Caribbean, start to develop some of our own stuff.
Absolutely.
Because the models that are being developed now are not trained by people like us.
Yeah.
That don't sound like us, don't look like us,
Yeah.
don't have our same values. And if we're going to be left out dealing with, let's say we only have AI models, for example, made by, I don't want to call it a group, but let's say by another group of people.
Outside of the Caribbean.
Outside the Caribbean, we can't expect to have certain results.
True.
Right? Especially the LLM models. So I really would encourage us, so even a shift, in, for example, in our study financing, right? Saying, hey, these are the areas now we need person study now. We can't continue on the same assumption before. AI has to be inside there, maybe even 10% AI, so that we can have more AI developed based on us, Caribbean people.
Yeah, and that also means because the learning language models need digital footprint to be able to learn and get trained.
Exactly.
And so that also means that we as a people have to be more intentional about what we're putting out there. And that is something similar to what Prime Minister Mia Mottley said recently in a CARICOM conference, that we need to make sure that we are putting out our own information, doing our own blue checks, things of that nature, because others are coming in, swooping in, leveraging it, and monetizing it, and we're again at the bottom versus being at the top.
And we have to start to, just talk about why you were saying that, we have to start now putting things that are still physical and in paper form, digital, to start to train the model. So we still have a lot of steps. We still have a lot of steps to go. So we still have to go from hard copy to digital, because they can't train on physical. So we have a lot of work still to do as a Caribbean to be able to make sure that we're still in the game. And the game is happening really fast.
Super fast.
Very, very fast.
To your point about that, I wanted to touch on two things that you said. One, Zindi is in Africa. It's the largest platform for AI builders and data scientists on the continent of Africa. And they recently at AI for Good in Geneva had showcased the work that they're doing with Barbados. And one of the works that they're doing with Barbados is taking all of those old documents that are handwritten.
That's really nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And all of those historical artifacts. And so they've put this challenge out there. And so now all of these AI builders and data scientists have taken up the challenge. There's a winning money. It's like a pitch. And then these people are going to create an AI tool to be able to
help solve that problem.
To help solve that problem and make sure that it's done. I thought that was such a wonderful...
that's a very, very good initiative.
Yeah, I've spoken with the CEO and the co-founder of Zindi already. And we're very excited to see how we can work together. Maybe she might be at AI Island. I can't say that yet. Maybe she might. But nonetheless, they're doing work in the region. And that's now an African-based company by an American owner who's using it to help an island because she sees it as the opportunity for the islands to have talent and for the global south to have talent. So that's one. Two, I would like your take on this. I came across teacher-less AI schools that are fastly growing in the US.
Especially two in particular, I saw.
Two in particular. And you also wore the hat of the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports at one point in time. You've been very active and involved in the National Youth Pitch Competition from its inception. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so my thoughts on...
And I know that this touches really close to your heart.
Yeah, I know.
So I want to understand your thoughts.
I gotta be careful too. Okay, so I believe in following the data. Right, so when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it sounds nice, but I want to see the data. So it's been, I think, about a year or two now already. There's one in Texas, and there's one in Florida, I believe. And since then, it has shown that those students have performed way above average.
Outperformed.
In comparison to everyone else. And they actually had more social skills because they only had, a lot of the rest of the day was fun, like learning trade skills, cooking and sports and so forth. So it didn't, persons were concerned about their social ability, but no, their social skills developed even more because they had more time to focus on the social skills. And then you get a sort of a individual, so students get more attention because everyone has their own, let's say, profile, etc. So I do think that it is the future, a model like that where we don't eliminate the social part. So it's not that a student is in front of the computer all day, 10 hours just doing AI. No, it's literally less in front of the computer. I think it's like 2 to 3 hours a day maximum. And the rest of the day is learning fun and learning trade.
And leadership skills.
And leadership skills, exactly. Like so I believe that it is the future. And right now, I can imagine right now what schools around the world struggling with, right? Because now you have the traditional way of doing things, like essays and papers, etc. And I can imagine the stress teachers are going through now, trying to correct these items, not knowing if the student wrote it or not. And I think that even there, we have to now adapt. So I don't really believe in tools anymore saying, hey, let's check to see how much of this is written by AI, because that's the future anyway. But now let's see how much they understand. So, okay, this is your project, you wrote it, fine. Let's find other ways to test their knowledge based on the topic now. Let's test now their prompts, their prompt engineering. How do you use your knowledge and skills best to be able to get the right data out of the system? And I think even there we can be leaders because, again, most countries are still focused and stuck on the traditional way of education. And we could decide as St. Martin, hey, this is how the world's going. We're not going to fight it because eventually it will change. But are we going to now look at this differently? The tools that the students have today of this generation are not the tools that I had. They're not the tools that my mom had. They're not the tools that my grandparents had. So at every generation, there are different tools. My grandparents, they didn't grow up with internet, right? The ones before that, it was even worse. So the AI is a tool that we just didn't have in school. So we have to now develop models around the AI and not fight it. Because you're not going to win. You're not going to win. And again, like you said, with the two schools that we have data coming in already. The data shows that using the AI allows you to have micro data on every student. Because at the end of the day, it isn't about the prestige of the school if we really think about education. So if we really care about education, it isn't about the prestige of the school. It isn't even about the teachers. Actually either. Right?
It's about the students.
It's about the students. So education is just about the knowledge, the learning, the understanding of. And if that's what we really care about, then the data then will show that, hey, if I have a system that can track Ife, can tell, hey, Ife is getting tired because the camera will be watching your eyes, the glitching of your eyes, check your nervous system, maybe your heart rate. And that data then will go directly to the doctor, the parents, and so forth. So now you have micro data tracking students to help them perform at the most optimal level. Actually, so one of the students at a science fair in St. Martin, by the way, I'll be very clear, they created a tool to track your, to get better at football. Americans call it soccer, it was football. So they had a video camera, and it would show that when you kick the ball, say, hey, no, kick the ball higher, or you're too far off. And that data then is put into a report after. So every day you could track exactly what you're doing and get better going forward. And that was created by two 14-year-olds. And that same idea or concept is what I see education, the model of education going forward. that we have these data systems that helps the student, because that's who we care about,
Yeah.
the student become better um, in any field.
Yeah. And like you said, big shout out to the entire team at the science fair. I had the honor to be one of the judges for
Oh, okay.
Learning Unlimited specifically. And I know some of the people there, they're doing incredible work. And even what we've seen, to your point about what we've seen with the National Youth Pitch Competition, how it's so curated to what they see and how they want to perform. And so they are creating also apps and solutions and different things from that lens to support that. So looking forward to collaborating with the science fair at a later stage on different things, because I have a passion for the youth, and
We have a passion
for the youth. And there's a lot of amazing things happening from the youth side, and I want to stress that, because oftentimes you hear all the complaints about all the bad that people are doing and all the things that are not going well, and there's not enough acknowledgement and praise, celebration of all the things that are going well. So definitely for that.
Well, you have AI Islands in Curacao.
Yes.
So what are you doing for AI on St. Martin?
Okay, did you see how the MP just flipped my interview and decided to be interviewing me? We're going to do more masterclasses, more smaller groups in St. Martin on AI. Our three main pillars right now is AI, finance, and entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And AI is just our focus from an innovation lens, right? So we've always been focused on innovation, entrepreneurship, and finance in some way, shape, or form. So we're going to continue with that, and especially because of how AI is impacting every single industry, you're going to hear AI and finance, you're going to hear AI and entrepreneurship. So we're doing smaller masterclasses. We also are launching a community soon. So we launched our community early on in the year, but we're redesigning it to focus more on AI and how to help people use AI to improve their businesses, to think about their businesses differently, to access global markets, to connect with people, to do all of the things that we find so dear in our hearts. So the signature bigger event is happening in Curacao.
Okay.
And the intentional, smaller, targeted masterclasses will be happening on St. Martin. And so that also is a testament of how Islandpreneur is growing, and so we're very excited about that. And so my team in Curacao also, thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. You do amazing work. And also my team on St. Martin, guys, you are troopers. And one of the team members, of course, in St. Martin that helps us to do all of this is Focus Forward. So we're right now doing this live and direct from Focus Forward in St. Martin. So this is brought to you by Focus Forward. We are really appreciative of their complete talent and what they could do, but we work with so many amazing people. There's no lack of talent. I always say that. There's no lack of talent. There's no lack of talent. Maybe lack of access.
Not lack of talent.
But not lack of talent. Any last words before we round up?
I would encourage everyone to register to Islandpreneur, look out for the new website, look out for the community, look out for the masterclasses. Fairs is normal and human nature, but we have the option now to undo the fear, so by learning, right? So getting the knowledge, and I think this is a great opportunity going forward, not just AI Islands, but all the other programs that IFE has with Islandpreneur, to be able to prepare yourself for the future, prepare yourself for the now also, and outside of preparing yourself, be able to help someone else. So say again, thank you again for all the work and effort you're doing for all the entrepreneurs on St. Martin, but actually now the region.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Yes, stay connected. We still have programs in 2026 with the city of Atlanta that it got delayed. We were supposed to do something this year, but it's happening in 2026. Of course, we have AI Islands. We have masterclasses coming out. We have a whole line of financial literacy type masterclasses that you'll see, but we also have a whole bunch of AI masterclasses, entrepreneurship. Stay connected with our community. Everything goes in the community. If you have been a part of our community and you're not hearing anything, it's because you have not downloaded the app. So download Heartbeat, Put in your email address that you used to register for the Inner Circle. At the moment, it's just $25 a month. It will run like that for the rest of the year. I can't guarantee what's going to happen next year, and I can't guarantee that it's going to stay like that after October.
Today's price is not yesterday's price.
Today's price is not yesterday's price. So I think I'm going to leave it run until the ending of September. September is my birthday month, so I'm like, okay, I have to keep it. But stay connected. In there, you have so many different resources. We have a list of 125 AI tools that's continuously growing, available for free in there. Absolutely not at any cost, it's just there. Anything that we find, we put in there. There's also coming up, today is July 21st, so on July 29th, the World Intellectual Property Organization in Geneva is actually hosting, and this is something that I saw that I thought to share. This is not a sponsored anything. I don't have any official ties with them, but they are hosting on July 29th an online webinar for Caribbean people. Okay, so WIPO thought it enough that they would hold a whole session just for Caribbean people. Why? Because our Caribbean flair is IP rich. Like we have so much IP, we're just not using what that means. And IP, for those of you that don't know, is intellectual property. We of course have a very good relationship with the local office here, which is the Bureau for Intellectual Property of St. Martin. So check them out, bit.sx. You can always go there and get a lot of information. But the webinar is hosted with WIPO. If you want more information, just DM me and all of that. If you want information on AI Islands that's happening soon, DM me. By the way, right now is just joining a waiting list. And the reason why we have that is because we're doing some things on the back end that the minute that we open up registration, we want it to be so smooth and so easy. So that is going to happen this week. Please, if you want to be there are limited seats. The central bank is bigger, but it can't hold 1,000 people. So if you want to be there, please join the waiting list. As soon as that opens up, you will be notified to join that. The $97 is available for 2 days. The $697 gets you a bonus day and so much more. And really and truly, you're gonna walk out with transformation. Here's a quick story. Someone that I know, I'm not gonna out her here, but someone that I know signed up for the AI Masterclass early on in the year and was unable to make it. And so because she signed up for it, I said, listen, you still have this on credit, I'll come to you and I'll do a one-on-one. And so I went ahead to her and did a one-on-one. And in 3 hours now, the reason why it's 3 hours is because I always am business coaching. If you know me, I'm always gonna coach you through a process. And so we were coaching and doing actual demos, and in 3 hours, she was able to transform her business. She created a tool, she created her business plan, she had SOPs done, everything with AI, okay? Presentations, everything with a prompt, everything with a prompt. And that is what you're going to get when you come to AI Island. So it's not just hearing from people, not just only discovering what's out there, but you're going to put up your sleeves and you're going to get to work. And it's not going to be heavy work. It's going to be smart work. Working hard is overrated. Work smart, people.
Heavy work with your mind.
Heavy work with your mind. You need to think critically. You need to be able to know how to communicate. Those are the skills that are going to be super valuable moving forward. But I promise you, with the guides and the facilitators and the people in the room, we have some really amazing people. I'm going to release that later, but we have some really amazing people that are coming all the way from wherever they are in the world, even if it's on Curacao, just to be with you, to help you. So look out for that. AI Islands is happening August 27th to the 29th in Willemstad, Curacao. And after that, you'll hear a lot more about what's happening in St. Martin. Thank you again to the Centrale Bank van Curaçao and St. Martin and all of our knowledge partners and those that are still being onboarded. The only reason why it's so low, because those things, you know this, right? Those kinds of tickets are usually like $1,500. To be in those kinds of rooms is like about $1,500. So the only way that we're able to keep it fairly affordable is because we have the generosity of our partners. And so we are very grateful to all of our partners for jumping in. At whatever point in time that they jump in, we appreciate you. So with that being said, I'm going to go through the comments. I know many of you are live with
online,
us.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go through the comments. I'm going to jump in. MP may come through the comments too. He is not ashamed to go through the comments. And if you're not getting us live, get us on the replay. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Ife Badejo, the visionary behind all things Islandpreneur, and I will see you